Right now, somewhere above your head, something might be watching you. It hasn't made a sound. It hasn't moved a single feather out of place. And if it doesn't want you to notice, you never will. Because this creature has spent over 60 million years perfecting one skill: disappearing in plain sight. There are more than 250 species of owls on this planet. Some are small enough to fit inside a cactus. Others are powerful enough to kill animals bigger than a house cat. One species hunts by ear alone in total darkness and never misses. Another doesn't even live in a tree. It lives underground. Some fish rivers at midnight, some patrol the sky in broad daylight, and a few have been quietly living beside humans for so long, in barns and church towers, that entire legends were built around their shadows. And yet, almost every single one of them belongs to just two ancient families. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which family every owl belongs to, what makes each type so different, and why this bird has haunted human imagination in nearly every culture on Earth. So get comfortable. This is every type of owl family explained. The two great families. Here's what most people don't realize: every owl species alive today falls into one of two families. The first is Strigidae, the true owls. Over 200 species, spread across forests, deserts, mountains, and even cities. The second is Tytonidae, the barn owls. Far fewer species, but instantly recognizable by one feature: a pale, heart-shaped face that makes them look almost otherworldly. One family diversified into nearly every shape and size imaginable. The other stayed small, specialized, and strange in its own beautiful way. Let's start with the family that rules the night: the true owls. Our true owls are built for exactly one job: hunting in silence. Their large forward-facing eyes gather far more light than ours ever could. But it's their hearing that's almost unfair. The ring of feathers around their face works like a satellite dish, funneling even the faintest rustle straight into their ears. A mouse taking one step under dry leaves is invisible to us. To an owl, it's a spotlight, and their flight makes it worse for their prey. Owl feathers have soft comb-like edges that break up the sound of moving air. The result is nearly silent wings. Danger doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives. Now let's meet the family members. The great horned owl. Those horns aren't horns at all, just feather tufts. Its real ears are hidden beneath layers of feathers on the sides of its head. It isn't picky either. Rabbits, snakes, ducks, even skunks all end up on the menu, and few animals in the forest are willing to challenge it. The snowy owl, built for the Arctic. White feathers for camouflage, thick feathering down to the talons for warmth. Unlike most owls that stay hidden in forests, it thrives out in the open, on flat, treeless tundra. When food runs low, it can travel thousands of miles to find more, proving that even nature's greatest hunters must constantly adapt to survive. The elf owl, the smallest owl on Earth, barely 13 centimeters tall. It even removes the stinger from scorpions before eating them, and often nests inside holes carved into giant desert cacti. The Eurasian Eagle Owl, a giant with a nearly 2-meter wingspan, strong enough to take down foxes and other birds of prey. Its real weapon isn't strength, it's patience. Often sitting motionless on a cliff or tall tree for hours, watching everything below before striking in a single silent burst of speed. For many animals, the attack is over before they even realize they were being hunted. The burrowing owl, breaking every rule in the book. It doesn't nest in trees. It moves into abandoned underground burrows dug by prairie dogs or ground squirrels, hunts during daylight, and stands guard on long legs like a tiny sentry. Insects, lizards, and small snakes make up most of its diet, making it a surprisingly effective pest controller. The fishing owl, proof that owls aren't limited to land. It watches still water for the flicker of movement, then strikes with powerful feet built to grip a slippery catch. Giants and dwarves, desert dwellers and Arctic survivors. Tree nesters, ground burrowers, even fishers, all from one single family. The barn owls, the second family, looks nothing like its cousins. Barn owls have that unmistakable heart-shaped face, and it's not just for looks. It works as an incredibly precise sound collector, with one ear positioned slightly higher than the other. That tiny difference lets the owl pinpoint a sound's exact location, even its height, in complete darkness. A barn owl can catch a hidden mouse using hearing alone, no light required at all. For centuries, their ghostly white feathers and eerie shrieking calls made people believe they were omens of bad luck. In reality, they were quietly doing farmers a favor, clearing out thousands of rodents a year without ever being seen. Sometimes the creature we fear the most is the one working hardest to help us. What makes every owl an owl? So with all this difference in size, habitat, and behavior, what ties every owl together? 3 things. A neck that can rotate close to 270 degrees, making up for eyes that are fixed in place and can't move in their sockets. Eyes built to gather maximum light in near darkness, and feathers with soft, fringed edges that erase the sound of flight almost entirely. Not every owl even hunts by night. Burrowing owls are often active by day. Snowy owls hunt through the endless daylight of Arctic summers. That flexibility is exactly why owls have spread into nearly every environment on Earth. Rainforests, deserts, mountain cliffs, even quiet suburban backyards. But that success is under threat. Habitat loss, pesticides, and vanishing old-growth trees are shrinking the nesting sites owls depend on. Protecting them isn't just about saving one bird, it's about protecting the balance of entire ecosystems they help hold together. Here's what I find genuinely moving about owls. In nearly every culture on Earth, humans looked at the same bird and felt 2 opposite things at once: wisdom and dread. The Greeks made it the companion of a goddess. Others heard that same call in the dark and believed it meant something was coming. Maybe that's because owls are one of the few animals that seem to look back at us the way we look at them. Whether it's an elf owl tucked inside a cactus, a barn owl gliding silently over an open field, or an eagle owl standing guard over a mountain valley, every member of this family is telling the same story: 60 million years of quiet, patient perfection. So the next time you hear a distant hoot after sunset, you won't just hear a bird. You'll know exactly what's out there, which family it belongs to, and just how far it had to evolve to become the shadow patrolling your night. Thanks for watching, and if this journey into the world of owls fascinated you, stick around, because nature has plenty more secrets like this one waiting quietly for someone to notice them.